Hey guys, and welcome back to the theBSofSociety. So this video might make me a hypocrite, as you can see in the title, but I'm not like gonna reverse everything that I've said about Girls Frontline or anything. It's really more specifically about time gating that I mentioned in the last video. Okay, time gates aren't at all bad, and I mentioned this before with Genshin players back when Genshin first came out as well. Like with Genshin Impact, you can only play it for so little amount of time every day that if you can basically play Genshin and Honky together, even if you only have like a couple hours in the day to play video games, you know. And then if you have a little bit more time, then maybe you can watch a show or play something else, right? And that's the entire reason why I'm playing so many gacha games, anyways, because I don't have a job and time gates, right? And this is why I like Girls Frontline and Azur Lane, because the time gate isn't every day. You know what I mean? Like Honky and Genshin and pretty much any other game that has an energy system similar to them, you have to wait pretty much 12 hours and you're ready to go again. Okay? So like back when I quit Epic 7 on my free-to-play account, the reason why I quit my free-to-play account of Epic 7 was because every 5 hours my PvP was done. It's a little annoying to have to log on that frequently. And that's why the energy system for Genshin now, pretty much you only have to log on once a day. Right? Honky, it's like once every 16 hours, with the exception of May's lunch and dinner, which is the other reason why Genshin's or why Honky's kind of bothering me, because I had to log on at a weird ass hour in the fucking day. So I don't get to pick like I do with every other gacha game, and so that's why that's bothering me. Right? But for Girls Frontline and Azur Lane, I mentioned in the last video that I'm going to be working on fairies soon, in that I'd probably drain all of my resources. Right now, I'm farming fairy XP and T-Doll XP, so I can be draining my resources that way. Eventually, I'm going to run out of batteries. Eventually, I'm going to run out of ammo, MREs, and everything like that. That I'm going to have to wait for my resources to cap out again. Right? So basically, what that means is that I might have multiple months of me not having to play a game, which means I can fill it with everything else until my resources cap out again and I can just do it all over. Right? The problem with time gates is that if you want to play a game, you can't play the game. So like for Honky Impact, I'm literally saving like 400 potions so that way if I want to play the game, I can play the game. Same thing for Genshin. I have Genesis crystals on standby so that way if I want to play more, I can play more. I have fragile resin so that way if I want to play more, I can play more. The reason why I was capped out like 3 months ago on Girls Frontline was so that way if I want to play all day long for a week straight, I could. Same thing for Azur Lane. You cap out to 25,000 oil, play all day, right? So time gates can be helpful to a game so that way you don't have burnout. But at the same time, it can be a bad thing because if you want to play a game, you can't play the game. And that's why time gating is bad. Because if you want to play the game, you can't play it. But for me, I defend it I moderately defend it because that way I can kind of chill out. I mean, the problem is that mobile game developers have time gates so that way you spend money. That's why it takes so long for you to get gems in Girls Frontline and Azur Lane, is so that way you spend money on gems. Compared to something like Genshin or Honky, where you probably get enough primos and crystals that if you just wait a couple months, you'd have enough for a couple for a couple pity pulls. And especially for like Epic 7 and stuff, right? And then if you don't want to wait for your Sky Stones to regenerate on Epic 7, then you go and spend money. And that's why I mentioned that free-to-play players still have the problem with time gates, even on games like Epic 7, Girls Frontline and stuff. Because a whale can just spend more money on resources and it won't be a problem. So basically, the point of this entire video is that my stance on time gates is that I like them. They probably shouldn't exist, but I like them because it allows me to play more than one game. Because for most console games, I might play it for a couple weeks and then get bored because there's no time gate. Right? Um, I would say Genshin and Honki's time gates are bad, but Girls Frontline and Azur, I think Azur Lane is probably the best, are good because you can play for a huge chunk of time and then stop and play something else and then play for a huge chunk, kind of go back and forth. So that's why I say I'm probably a hypocrite on it, but yeah, I can repeat this 1,000 times over and make this video 20 minutes long, but I think I've done that too much already over the last couple videos, so I'm just gonna stop it here. Talk to you guys later. Peace.